Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Exeter. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you on a rainy and wet championship evening. The Girls Division I Lacrosse Championship here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We're in conjunction tonight, of course, with the NFHS Network, streaming live on NFHnetwork.com. The undefeated Bishop Guertin Cardinals looking to put the cherry on the championship Sunday, hoping to run the table with the first championship under head coach Leslie Y. On the other side for Pinkerton, looking at unfinished business after they saw their championship hopes slip away in the final seconds of the championship game 2 years ago, the last time a title game was played in 2019. So, Kristen, two legit programs, two teams used to battling for all the marbles, and two sets of players very familiar, of course, with one another.
Both teams have an awesome opportunity to put their talent and all their hard work from this season on display. I think we're going to see an absolute battle out here with both teams bringing their best games and peaking here in this final opportunity. From the Cardinals, we're going to see an absolute battle on defense. Their deep defenders have been locking it down, and on offense they have star power who are really going to look to bring it.
Yeah, a lot of college commits on both sides. BG with 16 committed to go to the NCAA level, while Pinkerton, they have a number of talented players in their own right. They're led by senior Abigail Joette, who is headed to Bentley, can score, can pass, a physical presence around the cage, and I'd imagine, Kristen, that's probably what BG wants to take away or at least contain when they talk about the game plan.
The Cardinals will definitely be keyed in on Joette. She is really the quarterback of their offense. She can dodge to cage, she can feed, and they're going to need to be keyed in on locking her down.
All right, we will step aside for the national anthem.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Well, there it is, the national anthem. Well done. Here in Exeter, crowd continuing to file in. A lot of umbrellas can be seen here in the stands as we get set for a rainy championship affair. We'll keep one eye on the sky as we may or may not see some thunderstorms make their way through the area. We've got our fingers crossed. Kristen, how does this kind of weather affect the play down on the field when it's wet and soggy?
It requires a lot more control and focus on stick work. With these wet conditions, players can often see their sticks changing, potentially bagging out. And so these girls are going to need to be keyed in on maybe making more efficient, shorter passes rather than some of those long clears that could go awry in conditions like these.
Anything X's and O's wise that may change in the head coach's mind?
I think the only thing that the coaches will tell their players is really to just look past it. Play the game that you've been focused on all season. And, sometimes rain can make lacrosse a little bit more fun.
Right. Absolutely. Well, we're up here dry, at least, semi-dry, in the booth. It's humid out. It's been humid all day. Temperatures earlier this afternoon were in the mid-90s. And if anything, that rain cooled things down just a bit, although that mugginess still kind of floating around in the air. BG and Pinkerton, they've met for the championship game before, including back in 2019, getting set to do it yet again here on the NFHSnetwork.com. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, in support of local youth, sports, and education. All convenient MD urgent care locations are offering $20 sports camp and school physicals. No appointment needed. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. You can learn more at convenientmd.com. Convenient MD, one of the many sponsors making this broadcast happen tonight. All right, neutral site, BG, after beating Bedford in a thriller in the semifinals, arrive in their road green uniforms with the white lettering and gold trim. Pinkerton, the home team, despite losing the head-to-head matchups with BG in the regular season. Joette, who's asked to do a little bit of everything, number 22 in white tonight, will start off in the draw circle to begin the game. And opposing her will be Maddie Keating, one of these many seniors. So here we go. Good crowd on hand, still raining, but that has not deterred the fans from arriving from both Nashua and Derry. A spirited crowd here earlier today as well for one of the boys' semifinal games between Exeter and Pinkerton. That was a game won by the Blue Hawks 12-5.
Getting this game going, we have some high-level matchups on the draw circle with every single player between the restraining lines committed to play college lacrosse. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, how rare is that, Kristen, when you see this kind of talent between the two teams on the field at the same time?
I think it's energizing. I mean, it's so great to see this, that the sport has progressed and grown this far, and these ladies really, they just know how to bring it.
All right, here we go. Some seniors on the Pinkerton side. Of course, they remember that final very well from 2 years ago as sophomores when BG rallied in the final minute to win the championship. So perhaps some long-awaited avenge tonight if Pinkerton can pull it off. BG will head right to left in this 25-minute first half, while Pinkerton will counter from left to right. The officials tonight, Margaret Metz, Libby Mungian, Nathan Paradise, and Kerry Crow. All right, this one's straight up in the air, and it goes to Pinkerton. A quick snatch there by Justine Doyle. Senior headed to New Haven, going to play in the NE10. And going to start things off for Pinkerton here on the attack. On the far side wing, Lindsay Holt on her. Now Joette, her first touch, being ridden along the far side by the defender, senior Emma Hayhurst. And that may be one of the better matchups to watch here tonight. Joette, double team comes from behind. It's loose. Still loose far side. That ball bouncing over the head of Joette. Now the game's first whistle gives it to Pinkerton. Quick restart with a pass. Goal line extended far side. Pinkerton's Amy Quigley going to pull it out. Quigley, a good all-around athlete. Little start and stop here. Little isolation on the top. Now Doyle Off the curl, looks backdoor, shot and score. Good cut across the middle, Allison Lamphere. The Merrimack commit. And the junior puts Pinkerton out in front 1-0.
Right out the gate, you could see that the Astros did a nice job with ball movement, despite BG coming out with a higher pressure defense. One of the keys for this Pinkerton offense throughout the game is going to be that ball movement and looking for their cutters. BG struggled in the last game to cover those backdoor cuts, and that's going to be something that they need to be focused on in order to lock that down.
Well done there. And the first trip results in a high-quality shot, which I'm sure was at the top of head coach Rob Daziel's list. Daziel now in his 9th season as head coach with Pinkerton, looking for another ring. Astros won the first, and they'll win the second draw as well.
Joette early showing strong control in the draw control circle, placing the ball exactly where she wants it.
And the first one went to Doyle. The second one she plucked out of the sky herself. Speaking of Doyle, stays inbound, tiptoeing the near sideline. Now going to make her way towards the middle of the field. Kept at a distance by Holt, the defender. Doyle, very shifty, trying to shake off Holt. Talented midfielder heading to Holy Cross. Now Quigley, deep in that far corner. It's free to Teresa on her, one of PG's top defenders, the senior. Makes her pass it off. Pinkerton comes near side now. First touch for Caitlin Salaney, one of these talented Pinkerton juniors. Behind the cage, this one dropped by Joette. Goes out of bounds back to BG. First Pinkerton turnover. Comes with 2 minutes gone by in this first half. That allows Pinkerton, however, to set up the ride. And now the BG goaltender, McKenna Reiki, in no hurry. Slings it from over her right shoulder. Teresa, near side, little jab step on the catch. That's Delaney Romalo. Romalo with a bounce pass that's taken on the far side by Katie Campbell. Campbell instrumental in that second half comeback for BG in the semifinal win over Bedford. She took over duties in the draw circle, and that worked out well in the second half for BG. Meanwhile, look at this move. It's Bouvier. That's Riley Bouvier, the junior. A little shake and bake, breaks down the defense, and ties the game at 1.
Bouvier just wove through 3 defenders there, and you see her demonstrating her stick skills. She's able to maintain control of the ball and then finish her shot with poise. That's high-level lacrosse right there.
Well, your father, Chris, gave her some high praise Sunday on our FNL NH Lacrosse show, said that she may have the best skill set out of any girls player he's seen in 18 years, which is quite a compliment.
Coming from Coach Cameron, that is a very impressive compliment, but if anyone deserves it, it's Riley Bouvier.
Headed to Stanford, not this fall, but next. Again, she's a junior. The Stanford Cardinal, all over her, won the recruiting war. So Bouvier decides to make a play, tie the game. BG wins the ensuing face-off, and now here they come. Keating on the near side. Behind the cage, this one taken in by, I think that's Kutu. Nice pass, shot, and score. It was Kutu on the assist.
Katie Campbell with the finish.
And Campbell streaking down the middle, able to finish and give the Cardinals their first lead.
Katie Campbell there was running in as an attack midi, and I believe that the Astros defense just lost track of her. Really sneaky there, cutting behind her defender and able to catch and finish on the move.
So BG, after trailing 1-0, put together back-to-back goals in just 17 seconds. They've also quieted, for the moment, the Pinkerton version or section of this crowd. Astros did win the first 2 draws. Look for this one here. It's a bullet. It's taken in overhead by Amelia Piercy. Piercy had it cut down, however. Again, that's Doyle in the mix, and then she coughs it up. Now Holt, full speed ahead, down the middle. Fires knocked away. Well, that's Lauren Sweeney in net. The Iona commit made a great stop there. Meanwhile, loose ball. Bouvier in a physical battle. This one pushed ahead by Pinkerton's Haley Davis before Bouvier ultimately ends up with it for the Cardinals here along the near sideline. Going to jog and now trot to a stop in the near corner.
Riley Bouvier and both her brother Connor Bouvier, they both were number 1 for the Cardinals, and they both opened up scoring for 2 teams that are playing 7 p.m. matchups tonight.
So you're telling me her younger brother scored the first game in the semifinal at Bedford.
First goal for Bishop Guertin as well.
Shot wide, out of play. We'll keep an eye on that game as well as the night progresses. All right, 4 minutes in. BG a 2-1 lead, looking to make it 3-1. Bouvier, take it herself. Fires high and then fell over the backside of Davis, hit the ground hard.
Ball went out of bounds before any Bishop Guertin attacker had the chance to back it up, so it's going to be goalie ball.
Pinkerton gets the stop they wanted. Now getting out of their own end against this ride is a whole different challenge. The restart, a straight sprint up the middle by Liz Fournier, the junior. Lost it momentarily. Fournier recovers, trying to weave her way near side. Short pass for Doyle. Pulls it in on the run, comes up with the clear for Pinkerton. Well, Doyle, one of those players that just has a knack for making winning plays. Seen her this season come up with a number of ground balls, a number of clears, a couple of assists. You need players like that on a championship team, right?
Nick, we're going to see her all over the field tonight. She's already been instrumental between the restraining lines, and she's a lockdown defender as well, who is able to find the back of the net. So she's really one of those do-it-all type players.
Yeah, they put her on the wing on the circle, too. And that should continue throughout. Meanwhile, this one low and away from Joette, turned over again. Second Pinkerton pass that has gone astray behind the cage.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the conditions playing a factor here, or whether, we have a bit of nerves in this championship setting.
Up the field, Campbell. See if Pinkerton stops the ball here. Pass over to Holt. Holt right down the middle. Shot a little wide left. Well, BG seemingly attacking the net, coming out aggressive here over the first 6 minutes. Meanwhile, this will be given to Pinkerton. Thought initially it was going to stay with the Cardinals after that miss, but...
An interesting call there, wondering if the referee saw a crease violation. It looked like the backup was clearly won by the Cardinals.
Well, Pinkerton turns it over against the ride. BG seemingly willing to settle in here with his 2-1 lead. Now Bouvier kickstart the offense. Campbell on the near side wing, trying to make her way to the middle. Draws a slide. Now off the screen on a sprint. Holt shot and score. Well, took it towards the near side, fired across Sweeney's body. It ended up over her left shoulder and in the net. BG now with a 3-1 lead on the board.
Holt dodged hard down the alley and ripped a lefty shot. It's an impressive move for the righty midfielder, showing her versatility there. She's
looked to attack the cage here early on, and it works out there.
You can see she's hungry today. Yep, second time she's dodged hard to cage.
All right.
Trying to get a new draw matchup here right now.
It's Bouvier. Pinkerton will stay with Joette. Astros won 3 of the first 4 at the circle. So we'll see what Coach Y's adjustment, if it bears fruit, as BG tries to keep the momentum going. Scored 3 unanswered. Pinkerton struck first. It's been all BG since. This one a bouncer. Goes to Pinkerton. And then a whistle. It'll stay, I think, with the Astros. Yep. Nice job there on the wing by Lamphere. The Merrimack commit, the junior, secures it, restarts it. And Lamphere now still unchallenged on that far wing. Holt finally picks her up. Lamphere going to come back to the middle. Well, we've seen this, right? With kind of an isolation here up top with a whole bunch of players down around the cage.
Yeah, you can see what happens there. Either we have a clear lane to cage, or as this attacker was intending, we see a shooting space violation called for number 10, Tatum Howe.
Yeah, so Howe, the junior, chance to put an end to this 3-0 BG run and get Pinkerton back within 1. Riki is ready in cage. Howe with her toes just outside the 10-yard line on the near hash. Howe, little bouncer low. Riki says no. Makes the save around the waist. The outlet comes near side for Kayla Piscucci. Piscucci eyes downfield, hooks up with Tegan McInnes. Or not McInnes, rather, but Kate Simpson, who switched jerseys with McInnes before the game started. Meanwhile, heck of a finish down near the cage. That's Stephanie Reap. The junior attack, able to again slice just outside the crease and finish across the body. BG now with 4 unanswered. They lead 4-1, 7 minutes in.
Steph Reap was able to tuck right under their defender, right under her defender, and set herself up for a strong scoring opportunity. She was one-on-one versus Sweeney and was able to bury that one. Great job by Riki on the defensive end, getting that ball out quickly, leading to some early offense for BG.
Hey, get the stop one-on-one on one end, go the length of the field, and then cash in with a high-quality shot near the cage. A good start for BG, and Coach Daziel has seen enough. Timeout comes here again. 8 minutes gone. BG has scored 4 unanswered goals, and that again is enough for the longtime head coach. He calls his first timeout. I want to thank Northwest Designs, Inc. Championship apparel is available on site and online now from our partners at Northwest Designs, Inc. Access the store from the tournament info tab at NHIAA.org or follow them on Twitter for the latest designs. Commemorate your championship experience with an event tee or sweatshirt today. Shop online at NHIAA.org. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you. It's Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance, broadcasting in conjunction tonight with the NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports. Live broadcasts can only be seen at NFHSnetwork.com. The rain has been off and on. The key is we have not heard any thunder or seen any lightning yet. I knock on wood, as I say that here, because there may be some stuff coming down the road here in the near future that isn't too pleasant. We hope to get this one off the ground without a hitch. And so far, so good, Kristen. 8 minutes in, right?
The key here for this next opening draw control is that the Astros try and stop this run. They need to get ahead of this one and not let BG take too much of a lead. They're fully capable of fighting their way back into this one, and they've had success on the draw controls. And if they're able to convert on some of their possessions, finish those free position shots, like we just saw Riki stop, they'll be able to stay in this one and fight till the end.
And Pinkerton, winners of 4 out of 5 in the circle to begin. BG has rotated players. They began with Holt. They go back to Holt here to face off with Joette. Cardinals undefeated during the regular season. Challenged back on Saturday night at Bedford in that semifinal. A game which they trailed at halftime 7-5. But as you mentioned, Kristen, that defense really rose to the occasion in the second half. The attack settled down, and they survived a young, feisty Bedford team back on Saturday night. Pinkerton, meanwhile, they defeated Exeter and put away a stout Londonderry team in the quarterfinal round on their way to this D1 championship. Meanwhile, early movement is going to give this to BG, just their second win at the circle.
Here we see Katie Campbell coming out of the box again. Coach Y running her as an offensive midfielder. This is a smart approach so that you don't have your midfielders running both ways. It's going to keep your team fresher.
Especially on a humid night like tonight. Bouvier. Little split dodge. Back door. That's Kutu. Challenge Sweeney out of the cage. This one is going to be blown dead.
Bouvier drew a double team there. Saw the opening, but Pinkerton was quick to crash in on there.
A violation against the Cardinals. Restart deep in the Astro end. Full sprint down the middle. It's Liz Fournier. The junior runs into some trouble. It's Bouvier. Knocked it loose, scooped it up, Draws the whistle. Quick restart.
Again, that stick work from Bouvier. She scooped that up one-handed, controlled it. Just so calm and in control out there.
Made it look easy. Bouvier scoring one of the four early on. Campbell, Holt, and Reap. The other three for BGs. We come up on 10 minutes gone by first half. Cardinals working on a 4-1 run. Trying to keep this 4-0 run going, and they do. A pretty one-on-one move there. That's Amelia Piercy, the senior. Able to beat Sweeney low. It's 5-1 BG.
After Piercy beat her first defender, she felt someone else crashing in on her, and was a really smart move. She extended her stick in front of herself as a form of stick protection, and then was able to rein it back in for a controlled shot.
So 5 unanswered now for BG. And that has dampened the spirits here of Pinkerton. Astros seemingly got the momentum they needed to begin the game. They scored the opening goal. Won the first 2 draws. But it's been BG domineering things since. 5-1. Joette about to take her 7th draw for Pinkerton. This one to Doyle for a moment. Senior saw it and then lost it. However, backed up by her teammate here on the near side. That's Isabella Pinardi, the freshman, in some championship experience. Drawing a whistle here near side after the clear. Pinardi's pass, though, is picked off. Oh, great read there by Emma Hayhurst. Hayhurst with the clear. Up the near side. This is Keating. And now again another whistle. We'll halt things here. Keating will toe the 25-yard line and restart, but a great read on the defensive end earlier by Emma Hayhurst.
Just an overall smart play. You can see BG being really scrappy between the 30s. Doyle originally won that draw control, but the Cardinals were able to fight back. A full team effort so far.
Well, this pass behind Bouvier. Percy knocked off the block. However, BG's Tess Prunier to the rescue on the ground ball, and the Cardinals will keep it here. Little shake and bake far wing. They'll back out for Holt. Cardinals trying to find some space. They'll work it deep behind the cage to the far side. A lot of talking on the Pinkerton defense. And from the Astros sideline, trying to contain this explosive attack unit. Cardinals seeking their 6th straight. Holt off the screen, on the run, shot wide. And backed up by the Cardinals with 11 minutes gone by, first half. Right to the cage, Keating. Shot, score. Now it looked like avoided a hit as she ducked upon coming out in front of the cage there. Let it fly, zips it past Sweeney. And BG just on a roll right now. It's 6-1.
Keating used the restart there to her advantage. Oftentimes when the ball goes out of bounds on a shot or whatnot, you can catch the defenders off guard by starting early and quickly. And again, she was able to just tuck right underneath. Another skilled attacker for the Cardinals.
How about 6 goals with 6 different goal scorers?
That's depth for you.
Huh? That underlies your point. A lot of talent on the field both ways. 16 college commits for BG alone. Well, Pinkerton still with an impressive 5 or 6 on the other side. 6-1 Cardinals. Undefeated in the regular season. Just like the boys who are in action in Bedford tonight in the D1 semis.
Piercy won that battle in the circle versus Doyle. Doyle's been coming up with most of those. So that's going to be a competitive matchup all night.
Yeah, fun to watch that battle. BG in control.
With an early 5-goal lead, they're really able to control the tempo of the game, play at the pace that they want, and work for smart opportunities.
Trying to find a cutter. Holt, nice spin move. And then again, another whistle here is going to result in Holt lining up from just outside the 8-yard line.
Tewksbury on the Astros there called for a shooting space violation.
Holt eyeing the cage, Sweeney ready. Officials want to make sure everybody's in the right spot, and that includes players away from the ball. Holt. Right at Sweeney. Sweeney with the save, and then an immediate outlet pass is going to spring Aaron Tewksbury loose. Tewksbury with Piercy all over, backtracks.
Sometimes a big save like that can really drive up the confidence levels for a goaltender, and that could be what Sweeney needs to step up for the rest of the game.
Can be contagious as well, right? It lifts up the teammates
That's
a bit
a momentum
after a big
play.
save, right? However, Pinkerton has had problems on the clear as that ride again produces another turnover. Cardinals looking to cash in but aren't going to force it. They pull it out. And as we move past the midway point of this first half, settle in again on the attack, leading 6-1. Near side, Kutu. Oh, beautiful move and finish. Able to split two and then finish upstairs over Sweeney. Another different Cardinal goal scorer. That's 7. They've got a 7-1 lead on the board with inside of 12 minutes to go until the break.
Kutu is another one of those sneaky attackers who's able to weave her way in there. We've now seen 3 Cardinal goals around the crease where they're just tucking right underneath their defender and getting a 1v1 matchup with Sweeney. And for a goaltender, that's nearly impossible to stop, especially with stick skills this strong for the opposing team.
Nat Kutu committed to Oregon, another Pac-10 commit for BG. Of course, we mentioned earlier Riley Bouvier has punched her ticket to Stanford. Both those players just juniors. Scary to think about. All right, inside of 12 minutes. We've seen Coach Daziel already use a Pinkerton timeout. So I'd imagine he'd like to save that for later on in this first half, if possible, right?
I think his team knows what to do here, and the best thing that you can do in this situation is just to let them play and fight it out. They're prepared for this moment, and so I don't think that there's anything that bringing them in one more time would do to change the trajectory of this game.
Meanwhile, Christina Pikowski now in the draw circle for Pinkerton. This one, though, is scooped up by Bouvier. Bouvier shakes and bakes and fires. Whistle first. Well, able to make the defender Doyle buckle there and then drew the contact.
Bouvier looks like she's setting up to let it rip.
Got that one cocked back, scored earlier, hoping to become the first 2-goal scorer of the game. This one ends up wide with a bounce. Out of play back to Pinkerton. That's the 3rd time we've seen that.
Kutu was ready there on the backup and thought she had that one, but she was out of bounds, and so that ball is going to be awarded to the Astros, who were the next closest one to the ball.
Yeah, that was Emma Thompson, the University of New England commit. The junior with a nice play in terms of staying in bounds. Meanwhile, whistle will free up Doyle. Joette, who has been quiet, one of Pinkerton's best scorers, going to keep it herself here. So good around the cage during the regular season, they may try to set something up one-on-one here. We'll see. Instead, she gets rid of it. Pinkerton's going to go back up top and reset. Heading towards 10 minutes remaining, first half. BG with a commanding 7-1 lead on the board. Pinkerton trying to slice their way back. Cut, stop save by Riki.
That was a strong look from Joette to Quigley. That's the kind of backdoor play that I've been seeing from Pinkerton all season. That's how the Bulldogs in the last game were able to beat BG, but Riki was there.
Yeah, Riki's been everywhere more often than not here early on. A couple of stops right on the doorstep, including that one we saw a moment ago. Meanwhile, again, Pinkerton pressure. Forcing the issue, the freshman making a play, that's Bernardi. Up ahead, Quigley. Near side, Joette going to circle around to the far side of the cage. Spins inside of Hayhurst. Lost it. Riki out to challenge. Stays with it with a high ground ball. Joette able to use her size. One-on-one with Hayhurst again. Going to creep back behind the cage as we creep towards 9 minutes to go in this first half. Hayhurst trying to body her up. Second defender comes over. It's Pascucci. Official's going to whistle it. Line everybody up.
Pascucci and Hayhurst were giving Joette and Quigley there a really hard time. They're holding their ground on defense and just making it difficult for Joette to break through.
Is this a good angle to shoot here? Too extreme.
She's going to need to get to the inside, but I see her taking this shot.
Joette does make a move middle and does score. Well, the defender lost the footing. A good move. And Pinkerton needed that one. They stop a 7-0 BG run and are back within 5 at 7-2.
Joette took a bit of a non-traditional approach there to that free position. Most times you'll see girls either stand and rip or run it straight in, and she chose to make a move. So she baited a defender first and then dodged around over the top side and had almost, at that point, a center hash scoring opportunity.
A better angle, right?
Much better angle.
Joette headed to Bentley. Cashing in there. Team needed the goal. She provides it. And now this is a point in the first half maybe worthy of our attention. It's when Bedford made their move. Back on Saturday's semifinal, BG surrendered 6 unanswered before halftime. I'm sure Coach Y does not want to see that happen, and, well, it's not going to happen on that play. Beautiful transition. It's Kutu with the finish, her second goal. And that 6-goal lead is quickly reestablished at 8-2.
That was a beautiful play there. You see Bouvier win the draw control one-handed again. She makes a pass down low to Tess Prunier. Prunier easily could have shot that ball, but she makes one more pass to Kutu, who had a better angle to finish.
Kutu with 2 goals. And BG leads 8-2 as they get the answer just 13 seconds after the Joette goal.
The difference here that I'm seeing in BG versus their last game versus the Bulldogs is that they just came up with the last couple draw controls. Bedford was able to take that away from them, and so if Pinkerton can get back in the mix and winning these draw controls, that will change this game.
That's a great point. Bedford ended up winning the draw count, I think 12-7 during that 11-9 win. This one goes to BG as they even things up in this game 6-6. By my count. Holt up ahead, Keating the finish. Able to go over the top of Sweeney. Another heads-up pass and another high-quality shot. BG has opened up their largest lead at 9-2.
That is just clean lacrosse. I love that Keating took an extra second. She threw a little pump fake in and then finished. That just makes it so much harder for a goalie to stop.
9-2 now. Keating with her second. And that one followed the Kutu goal by 13 seconds. So Joette, 13 seconds later, BG's Kutu, 13 seconds after that, it's Keating. So pace picking up as we head towards 8 minutes remaining until halftime.
See a little bit of frustration building within the Astros defenders. I think they're losing track of girls in fast break offense in transition, so they're going to look to clean that up.
Joette against Holt. This one whistled in favor of Pinkerton. No, sorry, in favor of BG. Misspoke there. BG, by the way, has now won more than they've lost at the face-off circle after Pinkerton held that early advantage. Over the top, not a clean look there from Keating, challenged by 2 Pinkerton defenders. Although BG with a clean back up there will keep it at this end.
Pinkerton defense is getting really loud here.
Yeah, they're communicating well. That sideline has been vocal throughout as well.
They're going to need to as BG looks to run a stack from the top. They're just going to look to find open cutters, just like Keating right there.
Shot and score, and it's the first hat trick. Maddie Keating got the hot stick right now. BG starting to blow this one open. It's 10-2. With now 7 minutes and change remaining first half. Well, it seems clinical now. as every pass has been crisp. It's been on the money. It's been well-timed. The execution has been very noteworthy here in this first half, as evidenced by the score on the board.
I don't have many criticisms of the Cardinals' offense right now. They let a couple of those backups go early on, but other than that, they've been making clean passes, smart decisions, and just really controlling the play.
Pinkerton scored the initial goal less than a minute in. Since then, a 9-1 run by the Cardinals. Bouvier back in the draw circle. Doyle in pursuit for Pinkerton, gets it, and then a great juke to free herself up. Gets around Bouvier. Past the 50, now inside the 30, jacked up from behind, a whistle comes.
I'd like to see Pinkerton coming off that draw control win, try and play a little bit of faster offense. When they let the BG defense get settled, it's harder to break through and find the opening, and I think if they can play a little bit faster, they may find more success.
Meanwhile, this is Howe. Thought she saw an opening there, going to pull it out instead. And now Joette. She's used to having the ball in her stick, trying to back down Hayhurst. And they're going to whistle Hayhurst here. Well, not much you can do there, right, if you're the defender?
Yeah, she had Jowett coming in hard, and Jowett was a threat enough that she drew a second slide from Romalo, and Romalo's in that shooting lane, so she's going to get called for the shooting space foul.
Joette attacking, Riki denying. Boy, Riki's looked good in this first half.
She is seeing the ball. She's playing fierce. She's bringing that championship energy.
She's had a couple of doorstop saves. Now BG against the ride. Jammed up on the clear. That Simpson's pass was broken up. And now a whistle will give this back to Pinkerton. Inside of 6 minutes first half. Selaney near side with a crowd chasing her. Thompson had trouble, recovers, throws a nice pass middle. And Quigley comes up with a clear for the moment. Still being chased by Reap. And now does get rid of it with some space there to operate on that far side wing. Pinkerton looking for goal number 3. Scores from Lamphere and Joette. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining first half. Pinkerton trying to limit the damage before the break. Power move, Joette. Well, just muscled that one home, surrounded by green jerseys. It's Joette's second. Pinkerton back within 7 at 10-3.
You can see Joette using her strength to her advantage. She wasn't able to, run by with speed, and so she's able to, slow it down a little bit and really body her way through, but in a controlled way. We saw a couple offensive charge calls called in the last game, and so, she's able to maintain control and find the right balance to muscle her way through there.
Now Joette stepping up. 2 of the 3 Pinkerton goals now for the senior. Astros trying to piece something together here as we head inside of 5 minutes remaining before the break. Rain starting to drizzle a little bit here as well. It had tapered off a little bit at the start of the game. Astros another face-off win as Doyle gets to it. 7-7 by my count. Meanwhile, Doyle still with it. Holt coming from behind, gets rid of it for Selaney. The junior is going to circle around here on the near side. Back to Doyle with a short pass.
Doyle's been keeping the Astros in this one with her grit on the draw circle. Would love to see her get more involved on the offense here.
Yeah, New Haven's going to be getting a good player.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Quigley lost her stick as Holt came over on the slide, knocked it away. Officials whistle it. All right, so Quigley going to line up here just beyond the 10-yard line, maybe the 11. Fires immediately. Riki is there with another low save. Made it down with that left shin. Riki with a handful of saves in this first half for BG. We move inside of 4 minutes now, first half.
Riki doesn't have a weakness today. She made back-to-back shots high. Quigley's smart. She puts it low, and Riki's there to stop it.
Well, Teresa, pretty good clear. The defender for BG gets it across safely. Holt takes a look right, throws it left. Bouvier ready. Near side for Keating. Took her eye off it. This one headed out of bounds, but kept in. Kutu with a one-hand scoop there. Impressive by the future Oregon Duck. Astro's going to back off here, give Pinkerton some room on the perimeter. We head towards 3 minutes first half. On the setup. Looking. There's the feed. Tough catch by Keating with Doyle all over. Somehow pulled it in high. BG going to reset. Behind the cage, Kutu.
BG has so many offensive threats that when they stack up top, there's no one that you'd prefer to cut over the other. They're all capable of catching and scoring inside.
Yeah, it's pick your poison. Holt to her right. Scoops for the trailer. Trying to charge through is Piercy, and a whistle. Again, we'll keep it here. Piercy going to line up. Took a shot up high. This one pretty deep outside the 11-yard line from that far hash. Clock ticking down towards 2 minutes. First half. BG a 10-3 lead on the board. A low shot by Piercy is denied by Sweeney.
Sweeney saw that one all the way. Piercy dropped her stick and went low to low. And for a goalie, she's able to read that.
Meanwhile, good play here. Bouvier able to strip Pekowski. Up ahead, one on none, shot wide. Well, almost too good to be true there for Stephanie Reed, but one-on-one with the goalie. Ends up well wide, nobody backing it up. It belongs to Pinkerton.
That one's tough. You feel the pressure when you're in front of the cage like that, and more times than not, I feel like you see those go wide, high, saved. But credit to Sweeney for the good positioning there.
How about Bouvier on the strip to set it up?
She's all over the place. I mean, she really does it all. She can score. She can cause turnovers. She can take the draw. She plays impressive 1v1 defense.
An impressive young woman as well. We spoke with her back on Sunday on the FNL NH Lacrosse show. That, by the way, will be heard Sunday for the final time this season. Our season finale comes your way at 9 a.m. Only on the home of Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. That's FNL NH Media on YouTube. Again, on YouTube at FNL NH Media. Final 70 seconds here of the first half. BG has led big throughout, trying to add to a 10-3 lead. Pinkerton hoping to chop down that margin before the break. Instead, a whistle will break up the pileup.
It's the Riley Bouvier show tonight. She caused another turnover in the clear.
Junior making plays. Hayhurst with the restart. Along the far side wing, that is Prunier. And the trailer, Holt, is going to draw the whistle. Comes with 47 seconds remaining here. Holt going to line up from that far hash inside the 10-yard line. Well, Sweeney asked to make another stop here. She's fought off the last couple of BG shots. Can she do it again? Holt going to go right to her, and Sweeney protects the net yet again.
That's a big-time play from Sweeney.
Kutu, though, right back at it. A lob across. Bouvier behind the back. Shot going to be waved off as a whistle comes first. Now the officials want to talk it over. It comes with 36 seconds remaining here, first half. And it looks like, again, the officials want to make sure everybody's where they need to be, especially if you're off the ball. Bouvier has the ball in that far corner for BG. Going to restart. Going to come right to the near side, circle around the cage, fire and score. Beats Sweeney over the left shoulder. And then in that bowling-style celebration is greeted by her teammates. With 30 seconds, it's now 11-3 BG.
Off the restart, you could see Bouvier looking to wrap around the crease, she took it to the next level and added a little hitch step in there and really just shook her defender free.
So Bouvier, as you mentioned, Kristen, a little bit of everything. She scored now twice. Keating with 2 as well, her teammate, but it's been a balanced approach for BG. They lead 11-3. They matched their largest lead from earlier. And still with a chance for one more here. 30 seconds still remaining.
We've seen them do it in 13, both teams, so
yep.
You definitely see another goal here.
Joette against Holt. Holt wins.
No surprise where that draw control went.
Piercy on the move. Up ahead, Reap. A power move to the middle. Brushed aside by Doyle, who pokes it loose. Sweeney the scoop. 2 BG players surrounding her in cage. One of them may have stepped in here. Officials blow it with 15 seconds. And yeah, they're going to give this back to Pinkerton.
While BG is low on time, with the kind of lead that they have, I think they can have a little bit more control on their offense and find a better opportunity.
Intercepted, Hayhurst up ahead, Bouvier. Backdoor shot denied by Sweeney. Again, Reap with a one-on-one. Sweeney gets a piece. We have a whistle here at the same time that this clock horn went off.
Reap had the opportunity for redemption there, but again, we saw Sweeney.
Meanwhile, Reap is shaken up. Reap now looks okay. He's going to jog off to the far side of the field. Her teammates seemed concerned there for a moment. Meanwhile, there are zeros up on the clock. And I think that the officials just ended the first half.
Trying to determine what's being discussed there. I couldn't tell if they were going to call a yellow card on Sweeney, but we may not be able to tell until the start of the second half.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. The officials continuing to talk. But at halftime, BG a big lead on the board. The undefeated Cardinals, an 11-3 lead, Kristen, and at times looked machine-like in that first half.
They have it all together tonight. They are winning enough draw controls to have the possessions that they need. They're causing turnovers in the midfield, and they're finishing on their shots. And it's not just one player. It's not just 2. Do we have seven of them now that have scored? It's a truly impressive team effort. I mean, even starting with Riki and the saves, they're doing everything right, and I think that Coach Y right now must be incredibly proud of her team for the way that they've come out and started this game.
Yeah, 7 different goal scorers. They scored their first 7 with 7 different scorers. Since then, Kutu adding 1, Bouvier adding 1, so they've got 2, and Keating has 3 to lead the pack for BG. Pinkerton, goals from Lamphere, and 2 from Joette. And that is it. Cardinals with a comfortable 11-3 lead at the break. Coming up, a look back at the first half, an update on the Bedford BG boys game in the semifinal round being played right now in Bedford. We'll get you updated there. Preview the second half here in Exeter as well. Halfway to a championship, BG, an 11-3 lead at the break. Back in a moment. You're watching coverage of the 2021 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I Championship game here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, only on the NFHS Network and NFA.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
All right, back here at the start of the second half. It's the 2021 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I Championship here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. We are simulcasting tonight with the National Federation of High School Sports and broadcasting live on NFHSnetwork.com. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron, undefeated BG with a championship-like performance in that first half. As Kristen, they looked dominated really in all facets. They lead 11-3 as we face the final 25 minutes of the game.
Cardinals came out hot with an impressive first half performance. You can see all the work that they've put in all season long really come together in this final performance. They were making stops on defense. They were causing turnovers. They were scoring goals. You can't ask more of a team in this situation.
Yeah, and played with that championship energy, right? It sometimes can boil down to which team is ready to go. I know that the Cardinals are as talented of a team as we've seen maybe ever, with 16 commits, and this high level of lacrosse has been apparent for a while. But BG really from the get-go, even though Pinkerton scored the first goal in the first minute, after that 6 unanswered before allowing Abigail Joette to score her first, and then another 3 in a row after that, and 4 of the final 5 in the first half. Not to mention, their junior goaltender, McKenna Reiki, has also come up with a handful of saves that have been impressive as well.
Yeah. And if speaking of goaltending, we've seen Lauren Sweeney for the Astros come up big with some saves, one-on-one opportunities, and she's there eating that up. She's keeping her team from sinking into an even further deficit here.
Yeah, trying to keep them in it. No question. Sweeney headed to Iona, a junior, expected back for the Astros next year. All right, what do you do, Kristen, if you're head coach Rob Daziel? Your club trailing 11-3 here. Is there anything drastic you can do, any kind of a game change here, an in-game change or adjustment that may or may not make a difference?
I'd be interested to see if he changes anything up on the draw circle. His team has been winning some of the draws, but in order to make a big comeback here, you need more possessions and more time with the ball. With Doyle and Piercy fighting it out, you may want to try putting the ball in a different place. I think the other thing you can ask of his team is to just play faster offense. Pinkerton's seen really strong success moving the ball, finding those backdoor cutters, and been less successful beating BG 1v1. So we may see them change up their offensive approach. When they don't have the ball, their defense can get a lot more aggressive now. down 8 goals heading into the second half, you don't have a lot to lose by pressuring out on ball, locking off adjacents, and sliding a little bit faster to some of these BG threats. So I think we'll overall just see a more aggressive Astros team come out in the second half.
The New Hampshire Army National Guard can pay up to 100% of your college tuition to any New Hampshire state college or university starting the moment you enlist. This is one of many opportunities the Guard can offer you. For more information, check out NHArmyGuardRecruiting.com. All right. BG and Pinkerton. Pretty much even in the draw circle in that first half. By my count, the Cardinals a slight edge, 8-7. Meanwhile, remember there was some confusion just before halftime, a number of whistles coinciding with the clock running down to zeros. In the end, it was a penalty against Pinkerton. So they got a player in the box here with 2 minutes on the board.
And it was on goalie Lauren Sweeney. So we saw that happen at the end after the last play. And so not only will Sweeney sit for 2 minutes, but she's going to need to have a replacement in cage. And then this is also going to award possession to Riley Bouvier and the Cardinals to start the game.
So there won't be a draw. Instead, it's Naomi. I think it's Naomi Mentionwar, the new goaltender for Pinkerton. Bouvier starts, and we're underway here in the second half. BG ball, they lead 11-3. They're on the EMO. Keating going to attack the net and draw the whistle. The defender, Bukowski, guilty. Sweeney will toe the far hash just inside the 10-yard line. Violation of the shooting space there. And instead of a shot, a pass ends up behind the intended target and out of play. Trying to hook up with Kutu, who turned her head. A rare mistake tonight by BG. Meanwhile, Doyle has been impressive for Pinkerton, trying to weave her way to the near side. Dumps it off for Joette, who's going to duck and then split. Head inside the 30. Still jogging along the near side, and now goal line extended is going to square up.
Pinkerton likely won't be in a rush to go to the goal right away, being a player down for another minute plus. And we're going to see the Cardinals be really aggressive here in a double team. And Hayhurst and Ramallo were able to cause that turnover. Yeah,
Ramallo comes away with the ball. She was the slide, made a good play on the ball to come up with it.
Seeing a bit of sloppier stick work here to start the second half.
The halftime layoff. Chalk it up to that, or maybe the muggy weather, who knows?
Maybe a bit of everything, and I think what I've been impressed from with both teams so far is they don't look like they're playing with those championship-level nerves. They've been pretty calm, in control, and playing solid lacrosse.
Really 2 minutes in, down to 15 seconds on the Pinkerton penalty. Piercy bouncer, that's a tough one. Put it on the turf right in front of the goaltender. It skyrockets up over her shoulder into the net. BG continuing to grow their lead. It's now 12-3 on that EMO goal.
Piercy's been quieter on offense recently, but has been playing her part in the midfield and on defense. So nice to see her finish one there, and that makes the 8th Cardinal goal scorer.
Also the second. No, Piercy did have one.
Oh, she had a goal earlier?
She had the 5th BG goal.
Very nice.
But it's been a balanced approach. 7 different goal scorers now with 4 multiple goal scorers. Plenty of wealth to go around here as it's now 12-3. All right, still 10 seconds to go on the Pinkerton penalty. Holt will take the draw against Joette. This one takes a bounce towards the Pinkerton end and ends up with the Astros. That's Emma Madsen who gets to it. Joette takes over. Leaves a trail in her wake, draws a whistle, and will restart it here from just outside the 40.
Good control and awareness from Madsen there, waiting until the ball. She didn't step into the restraining and waited for the ball to come to her, and that allowed her team to keep possession.
All right, Pinkerton going to work that far side wing as we're back to even strength. 2.5 minutes in, second half. Well, we saw Pinkerton operate from up high, right? A lot of the time, try to get an isolation going. Now it's Joette behind the cage against Hayhurst in an isolation. Going to spin near side and fire just a bit high, a few inches above that crossbar. She hits the soggy turf afterwards, knocked down.
Hayhurst has been giving Joette a really tough matchup.
Yeah. Joette did score twice in that first half, but was held under wraps. Meanwhile,
Riley
this
Bouvier.
one ends up short. Bouvier foiled the plot, and here's that Bouvier's speed now on display. Going to blow past Doyle. Still moving, putting pressure on the defense. Looking left, faking, firing off the crossbar. This one ends up in the parking lot. Nearly a coast-to-coast highlight reel type of goal there for Bouvier. Instead, she's an inch or so off, and the score stays at 12-3. Doesn't get much more exciting than that, right, Kristen?
That's fantastic. I mean, you love to see teamwork, but a fast break, coast-to-coast goal, almost goal like that, it's entertaining, honestly.
Right. Entertaining either way, if it went in or not. Meanwhile, Bouvier, a little flick pass. Holt is ready. Shimmer shake, shot and score. Boy, that's a pretty move. On the drop step, making it look easy. That is the second goal for Lindsay Holt. BG now up 10 for the first time at 13-3.
Bouvier threw a behind-the-back pass there to Holt, and she went hard down the middle of the field and ripped one past Sweeney.
Meanwhile, we promised you scores at halftime. BG and Bedford closer maybe than people would have thought. Halftime, Cardinals with an 8-3 lead.
8-3. They're now up 10-4 a few minutes into the third quarter.
So 10-4 Cardinals. The winner, of course, will go on to face Exeter in the boys Division I championship game. That comes your way Saturday here on the NFHS network.
We had the same Final Four teams on the boys and girls side with Bishop Guertin, Pinkerton, Bedford, and Exeter.
Yeah. Kind of strange, I guess. Exeter on the girls' side eliminated by Pinkerton, while Pinkerton eliminated by Exeter on the boys' side. BG hoping to beat Bedford in both scenarios. Of course, the girls did it back on Saturday. The boys again out in front 10-4. With a few minutes gone by in the third quarter over in Bedford. Meanwhile, here in Exeter, BG, they've been in control really from the get-go. Pinkerton did strike first on an Allison Lamphere goal. But after that, the Cardinals rattled off 7 unanswered with 7 different goal scorers. Led 11-3 at the break and have scored the first 2 here in the second half to lead 13-3. Backdoor, Kutu, give and go. Keating shot didn't quite come out the way she was hoping. Flies over the crossbar out of play. 6 minutes now gone by, second half.
This is where Pinkerton defense can be a little bit tighter on their cutter defense, play stick to stick, and try and eliminate some of those scoring opportunities for the Cardinals.
Well, you mentioned earlier perhaps we see the Pinkerton defense take a few more risks down big in this second half. Have you seen any change?
So far, they still look like they're sitting back on the 8-meter. I think more intensity from the defense. They look like they're talking. They look like they're sliding a little bit faster, but haven't seen that high-pressure defense just yet.
Bouvier. Split dodge. Weaving shot. Look at that. Boy, I'm trying to figure out how she released it. Came out almost backhanded there.
Yeah, she did. She was able to dodge to the inside. She took her right stick across her body, turned it over, and that was a backhanded shot that went in right under the crossbar.
Wow.
That's just impossible to stop.
Looking like some Globetrotter stuff here. With now 7 minutes gone by, we've got a running clock as well because of the double-digit deficit.
Yep. Once a team is up by 10 goals, we're not going to see the clock stop between goals.
So running time in a championship game. That's okay with BG. Riley Bouvier now with 3 goals. 3 apiece for Bouvier and her teammate Maddie Keating. And the Cardinals, who beat Pinkerton twice in the regular season, looking to make it a clean sweep here in the championship game. BG wins the draw. This is Piercy. Picked up by Thompson. The trailer is Holt, who catches the defense sleeping and scores another. Lindsay Holt headed to Holy Cross. Scored now 2 in the second half, 3 in the game. Cardinals really piling it on now at 15-3.
Holt just looks so athletic out there. She's a tri-sport athlete playing field hockey, hockey, and lacrosse. And she's dominant in all 3 sports. Now, while she is going to head to Holy Cross for lacrosse, she had options to play other sports.
Very smart student athlete as well, right?
Yes, she is.
Yep. Yeah, they all seem to be. Everyone we talked to, we spoke with her very early on this season back in April. Of course, her older brother Cam was a standout defender a few years back for your father, Kristen, on the boys' side for BG. Went on to play successfully, I think, at UMass Lowell, and then went down to Florida for his 5th year.
And Cam is now back on the sidelines with the boys' team as an assistant coach.
All right, BG, another face-off win. 10-8 by my count, but of course that's far from official. We've played now 9 minutes here, second half. Campbell wide open on the cut, but the shot ends up off the crossbar. Well, Pinkerton, they turn their head. Campbell makes the cut, and you can't ask for a better shot there.
She was wide open, but was unlucky there and went bar down. But Kate Simpson was ready and picked up the ground ball for another possession.
All right, who's this? Kutu? Looking for a feed off the wing. Shot there by Bouvier. Stopped by Sweeney. Ground ball. It's anybody's guess. Piercy comes away with it. She scooped up a few today. Piercy playing that good all-around game that you alluded to, Kristen. She's going to line up here from outside the 15. 10 minutes gone, second half. Probably a little too far out for a shot. No need.
BG's right now is in a position you can start to see it happening. They're going to line up their cutters. They're just starting to play looser. See them being a little bit more creative, having some more fun. We're going to still see fun, good lacrosse for the rest of this game.
Keating down the middle. Jammed up. Whistle. And another restart here on the way.
A foul in that case isn't the worst thing for the Astros because Sweeney's been coming up big on these free position shots.
Yeah. This one deep, too. It's the 11-yard line.
Keating likes to stand and rip here, so we'll see how she matches up against Sweeney.
Keating with 3 already to her credit, looking for a 4th. There it is. Over the right shoulder, a sniper shot from nearly 12 yards out, and Pinkerton just rolling, or BG, rather rolling here in the second half. Now 5-0 since halftime.
Keating's going to be an asset when she joins the University of Indianapolis program. They have been a D2 program on the rise who made a strong run this season, and I think she's going to fit in really well there.
Yeah, that's an up-and-coming program from what I understand. And you're right, a heck of a goal scorer, bare minimum. Keating with 4 to lead the way today. For BG, playing in her final game, as are her classmates. Of course, they're all recent grads now. They're not even seniors anymore, right?
Yeah, they did it. They have, as on the Cardinals side at least, they have flown the nest.
Now, would you say welcome to the real world, or you save that for the college graduates?
Oh, no. They have 4 more years of fun and excitement ahead of them.
They sure do. Meanwhile, another whistle here. A little contact along the near sideline. That was Simpson who drew the whistle for BG. Cardinals quickly kick it into gear here. They go right behind the cage. They look out in front. However, the pass too high for Prunier to pull in. Sweeney out of the cage again. And what's going on here? A whistle. going to go against Pinkerton, I think. Yep.
Looks like there was some contact on Kudu inside there.
Yeah, there was. As far as who it was against, which player, it's anyone's guess. Kutu, she's been a facilitator. Declines the shot, leaves it for Holt up top. Holt a charge down that far side, and a shake and bake move. This is Reap, shot and score. That's the coach's daughter, Stephanie Reap.
I believe that was a Kutu goal weaving through the middle there. Yeah, that was 16.
Not 15. Yeah, you're right. There it is.
You typically see Kutu playing behind the cage, being a quarterback of the offense, looking to feed and find the open players or dodge on the crease, but we see her weaving through from up top, showing her versatility as an attacker.
17-3 BG. Past the midway point. Second half, luckily for us, Kristen, the weather has cooperated more or less. It is drizzling out. There's a lot of umbrellas, but no, knock on wood, no lightning. No thunder.
It's looking good so far. I've seen a few camera flashes that have thrown me off, but
don't even mention that.
I know.
Getting down towards 11 minutes. And again, running clock due to the double-digit deficit.
Lamphere comes up with this one.
Yep, needed it. Springs Doyle after the restart. Doyle down the middle. Draws the attention of Hayhurst. Holt knocks her down. And Doyle, who's been on the move nonstop, going to draw the whistle after getting shoved to the turf there at about the 16-yard line.
See Doyle there. She was looking to push a fast break opportunity, but Holt is just a physical player who got in her way there.
Well, too deep for a shot. Doyle gives it over for Joette, the Bentley star. Trying to work on McGinnis, the defender. Quigley now a drop step to her right. Gets inside of McGinnis and draws a whistle on Teresa, who came over on the slide.
You can see this Pinkerton offense right now. I feel like they're picking up in intensity. You've seen a few girls just try and dodge hard to cage, and that's all you can ask of them right now in this situation.
Got to make something happen. 17-3. Quigley again jammed up. They've had the clamps on her. Joette. And then Riki able to deny Doyle on the near side. Finally, the officials clear the pile, and Riki, who makes another nice save for BG, awarded with possession.
She has been a brick wall.
Heck of a play there. Goes pipe to pipe, shuts down the rebound.
Yeah, she almost got spun around there by that Pinkerton ball movement, but she stepped up and made the save.
Well, if the game were to end right now, and let's say we'd had to name a player of the game, we'd be hard-pressed, right? I mean,
we'd have to pick an offensive and a defensive player, I think. Give me a couple.
All right, I'll give you two. Riki is definitely, I think, in that mix. Meanwhile, so is this player, Stephanie Reap. Again, a slashing move and a finish near the cage. BG gets another high-quality shot. That's been the case all game. It's now 18-3.
We're starting to see the Cardinals make some substitutions. Freshman Lauren Redfern is now on the field. We may look to see some new faces.
That's what I was going to ask you.
In other positions as well.
I was going to ask you that earlier. At what point, if you're coach, why do you start to look into the bench?
The time is now. The bench for the Cardinals is so talented. I think, honestly, any one of those girls could have started this game, and we would have seen a similar outcome.
Bouvier going to face off here against Joette. Bouvier has played every minute here so far. And, of course, will most likely be back next year as well as a senior. So the rest of the NHIAA has that to look forward to. Coming up on 8 minutes running time here in this wet second half. BG gets to it. That's one of the replacements. That's Lauren Redfern, the freshman.
Also for the Cardinals attack, I'm seeing number 21, Tana O'Neill Blake, rotate in.
Good to see a senior getting some minutes. Reap still out there, a starter. Prunier's logged a lot of minutes. She's still out there as well. So we move now inside of 8 minutes. Kutu on the wing. There's the cutter. There's the shot. Ends up a little high. Still a good look, though, as Pacucci came slashing across the middle there. Pinkerton led 1-0. That seems like yesterday at this point. BG responded with 7 straight and have never looked back. They led 11-3 at the break and have outscored Pinkerton now 7-0 in the second half.
Well, Lauren Redfern is new on the scene here in this game. She's already showing her high skill level, making a shifty move there and drawing a foul.
Yeah, a chance to score here, which has got to be special if you're a freshman. Fakes low, goes high, a little too high. It's kept inbounds. The feed goes to Bouvier. Another trick shot that's off target. Bounces, again, deep behind the cage, out of play. It'll stay here. Cardinals have controlled the action, have played most of the time at this end. There's a stop by Sweeney. Shuts down Campbell. Long ground ball is going to spring loose Pekowski. And the Pinkerton defender was hit. Pekowski, a senior, playing in her final game for the Astros. Lights are on, pretty much full dark here in eastern New Hampshire. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you. We have a timeout now on the field with 6 minutes even remaining in this second half. It's been all Bishop Guertin 18-3.
We're seeing this team play their very best lacrosse of the season. In their previous matchups versus Pinkerton, they were definitely closer than this. We saw a more well-balanced game, but you can just see the Cardinals hitting their stride in this final opportunity.
Well, it's been BG's really division to lose for quite some time now. You, of course, Kristen, are a BG graduate, and from what I understand, the alumni, they stay involved with the program, right? They stay in contact. They keep dibs on what's going on. What does it mean to be a member of that fraternity, so to speak, that sorority, if you will, of this BG program, an alumni?
It is so fun. We're so proud of the girls and the legacy that we've left behind. I mean, I graduated, and they've won more championships than in the past few years, and in all of program history. They're just making such a mark on New Hampshire lacrosse, and then girls are graduating from here and going on to make an impact on the NCAA scene. And so really proud to be a part of it, and fun to stay in contact with former coaches and teammates as well.
Now, do you think your team from 2015 could beat this team?
Wait, no. This is a high.
Not even going to entertain
team.
That, huh?
I'd like to think we'd give them a game, but I don't know. Bouvier might run right by me.
Well, I don't blame you for that answer, because BG has looked dominant, not just tonight, but all season long. They beat Pinkerton twice during the regular season. Of course, they ran the table, went undefeated, held off a stubborn Bedford team back on Saturday night in the semifinal, a game in which BG trailed at halftime, but really came out swinging in that second half to beat Bedford. And then tonight, after trailing 1-0, they surrendered the first goal in the first minute. After that, a game of runs, 7 unanswered by BG. They close out the half on a 5-1 run. And this current run here of 7 unanswered in the second half really stretches back further to 8 unanswered, dating back to late in the first half. So not just a game of runs here tonight, but a game of big runs, all by BG. Meanwhile, another whistle here. And the officials taking some time here to sort things out. Again, running clock due to the deficit.
Hear the Pinkerton coaching staff yelling for his team to set it up. We may see a set play from the Astros here.
Trying to get on the board for the first time since halftime. Well, meanwhile, in the boys' game, by the way, between BG and Bedford, it seems like the Cardinals have started to open things up. That was an 8-3 BG lead at halftime. It is now ballooned to 16-4 with inside of 8 minutes remaining in the fourth.
Foul by Teresa is going to put Quigley on a hanging hash.
Quigley going to pass the shot on the hanging hash. I like that terminology. Still learning.
You're doing a great job, Nick.
Thank you. Inside of 5 minutes. I just hang around lacrosse experts. That's my gig. Shot. Riki. Another stop.
That was that Pinkerton offense that we were looking for. The backdoor cuts, feeders with their heads up, but Riki has been getting in their way and making it difficult.
Yeah, Rob Lamphere there. She's had I don't know how many. Not just saves, but saves on the doorstep.
This has to be one of her best all-time performances that I've seen.
Meanwhile, Pronier turns, fires, and scores. Nice catch pass, a little behind her, it looked like. A little half step to the right, let that fly. And it's now 19-3.
Tess Prunier, a sophomore getting in the mix, who again didn't get to play a freshman season, but she comes from a long line of BG lacrosse players. Older sister Kaylee was one of my former teammates, and her brothers Nick and Sam also played for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Prunier. That name recognizable for sure. I thought she was a senior. You said she was a sophomore. I had to double check my sheet. You're right. Just more firepower coming back next year for Coach Y. Pinkerton. They'll get their goaltender back, Lauren Sweeney. She is committed to Iona, but the junior will return along with Allison Lamphere, a Merrimack commit. Caitlin Selaney has been in the mix tonight. Fournier, Thompson, they're juniors. So Coach Daziel has some veterans coming back in 2022 as well.
Over the next year, Coach Daziel is going to spend time developing his players. They have some youth on this team, and the Derry, Hampstead, other feeder programs into Pinkerton, they're really strong youth programs, and so he's going to have strong talent coming up through the pipeline. They're going to continue to be a perennial powerhouse.
Timeout here with 2:42 to go. Not sure what this is about unless it's to empty the bench completely by BG. That could be it. 2:42. I guess you want to get those reserves who have put in the time all year to challenge the starters during practice, right? They don the uniform, they rep hard, they deserve maybe some minutes here before it's all said and done. That may be what Coach Y is thinking here.
These last few minutes are going to be emotional for both teams. You're going to have one team come away a champion and another team, that saw all their hard work end in a championship loss. And then for the seniors, this is their last 2 minutes and 42 seconds of high school lacrosse. It changes a lot from here. The college game, it really requires you to level up. But hopefully both teams can go out just having had really fun and competitive careers here.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I'd imagine it's really a full gambit of emotions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you went out as a champ. What was that like as a senior?
We were champs and we were underdogs, so I think I went into the whole thing not expecting the win and being more shocked and surprised than anything. But it's such an amazing experience to cap a high school career.
All right. It looks like Coach Y is done addressing her players. Gave one of them a love tap over there on the sideline. Coach Daziel hoping his girls can finish strong here as well. It's been a good season for Pinkerton. They beat Londonderry. They beat Exeter in this tournament. Beat Salem, I believe, in that preliminary round as well. So not a bad run by Coach Daziel's club here, but it looks like, again, they're going to fall short in the championship game. Coming up after the game, we'll take a break, come back, recap the game, get you some stats, one final look at the Bedford BG boys game as well. That's all coming up after the game here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire and only on the NFHSnetwork.com. All right, final 2.5. New players all over the field. At least in green. Pinkerton, I think, still has their starting defenders out there. BG still does as well, I guess. Here's Bouvier up top. She scored 3 times today. A little give and go, and then Piercy. Beautiful finish. Great two-player game there. Piercy, not known for her scoring, but she scored, 3 now? And BG really just putting this one to bed at 20-3 as we move inside of 2 minutes to go. So Piercy, after the pretty finish, meanwhile, players really taking their time getting back to the circle. That clock still running down to 100 seconds.
Piercy's going to be another one of those players that makes an immediate impact for her college program. Given the two-way performance that we've seen from her, I think she'll make an impact on the Bryant program.
All right. Minute 20 and counting. Holt, who has taken the majority of the face-offs or draws for the Cardinals, does not get that one. A good play on the wing by Pekowski for Pinkerton. Pinkerton a slight edge at the circle, but it has not mattered. Meanwhile, Quigley gets rid of it. Player comes in from the wing. This is Selaney trying to dip that right shoulder as she comes middle. Now Joette, bodied up by Campbell. Good slide. Campbell goes down and draws the charge. Not Campbell, but Holt, who is also putting an exclamation point on a brilliant career here at BG. She'll play next year for Holy Cross. Still willing to sacrifice the body in the game's final minute, even with her team out in front 20-3.
That was perfect defense there, holding her ground. Joette, she has not given up. She has been fighting for this entire game. BG's been taking away some of those opportunities that she usually has, but definitely a lot of fight in this Pinkerton team.
Final 10 seconds of 2021. The officials whistle it. They'll give it to Pinkerton. The clock frozen for now. Now restarted, and that is going to do it. The Bishop Guertin Cardinals, undefeated in 2021. They win the championship in blowout fashion. 20-3 is the final score. It's the first championship as a head coach for head coach Leslie Y, and a fitting end to the career of this senior class. Is, boy, oh boy, were they as good as advertised tonight. They fell behind 1-0, then it seemed like a switch went off, and they exploded. In the end, a 17-goal gap and a celebration on the turf down here in Exeter. We will step aside, come right back with a full recap and a look at the out-of-town scores as well. You're watching coverage of the 2021 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I Championship here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, and seen only live on NFHSnetwork.com.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
There it is, the hardware. It's down on the field, the NHIAA championship plaque being handed out to the Bishop Guertin Cardinals after a 20-3 victory over Pinkerton. NHIAA President Jeff Collins here in person. There's Coach Y, and I believe the tri-captains there.
Three captains.
Yep, receiving the hardware, the plaque, of course, the medals, the gold medals, and certainly a moment that these young women will remember for the rest of their lives.
This is so special. These girls, and on both teams and all teams that competed this season, they went through a lot to get here. They followed COVID precautions. They had setbacks throughout the season, and they were able to fight through, and every team just got so much better, and it culminated in this game and this standout win for the Cardinals.
Yeah, this was a dominating wire-to-wire performance for the most part. Pinkerton did score the first goal less than a minute in, Allison Lamphere. And then BG rattled off 7 in a row with 7 different goal scorers. Bouvier, Campbell, Holt, Reap, Piercy, Keating, Kutu in that order. Made it 7-1 about midway through that first half. Pinkerton got back within 5. Abigail Joette, first of 2, made it 7-2, but that's about as close as Pinkerton would get. BG rattled off another 3 in a row. Kutu, then 2 by Keating. Joette another in the final 5 minutes to make it 10-3. Bouvier scored with 30 seconds to go before halftime. That pushed the lead for BG up to 10-3. Then the second half. Pinkerton began shorthanded. Did not take long for Amelia Piercy to score her second on the EMO to make it 12-3. And that sparked let's see, how many in a row in the second half? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nothing BG in that second half. After Piercy, we saw Holt, Bouvier, Holt, Keating, 2 by Reap, Prunier, Piercy again in that final 2 minutes. And that just about did it for Pinkerton as they lose tonight 20-3. Elsewhere tonight, it has gone final in Bedford. BG on the boys' side heading to the championship as they eliminate the Bedford Bulldogs tonight 17-4 in Bedford. So it will be BG and Exeter on the boys' side on Saturday. We will have coverage for you, of course, on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire and on NFHSnetwork.com. That comes your way Saturday, the boys D1 championship. Kristen, your final thoughts on what we saw here in the girls' championship game for Division I. Again, a 20-3 BG win.
The Cardinals put together a near-perfect performance. They were spectacular all over the field. Like I said before, goalie saves, caused turnovers in the midfield, in the ride, relentless on the draw circle, and then just a firepower offense, finishing their shots, getting crafty, and really playing their best lacrosse of the season. The Astros came out with some stars who weren't able to get by these BG defenders. Jowett had a hard time, playing 1v1 against some of the lockdown defenders, and Pinkerton really were met with a challenge when it came to the Cardinals all around, all over the field.
Yeah, one of the better teams we've seen in recent history, frankly. 16 NCAA commits, a lot of those coming back next year. Scary to think about. BG undefeated. They get it done tonight in spectacular fashion, 20-3.
Great news is that the players that we do lose tonight that have graduated and will go on, we're going to hear those names again next season. They'll be making an impact on the college scene.
Absolutely. We'll recap this one again Sunday, 9 a.m. on the Friday Night Lights home for the FNL NH Lacrosse Show. It's presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. That, of course, is our YouTube channel, FNL NH Media. We'll be live Sunday at 9 a.m. for the final show of the season. I want to thank Coach Bill Ball and his staff here at Exeter for giving us the green light. We appreciate Jeff Collins and our friends over at the NHIAA. Of course, Don Boyle, the head man at the NFHS. Great working with him year in and year out. Of course, our executive producer at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is Steve Beals, on the scene here today at Exeter as well. Our director back at the Beals Insurance Studios, the man behind the curtain, is Ben Beals. And, of course, the man in the crow's nest, the man behind the lens, is John Barron, our chief engineer. And my partner, doing a great job, spoken like a true veteran pro, is Kristen Cameron. My name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, BG 20, Pinkerton 3. This has been a presentation of the 2021 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I Championship right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance and seen live only on NFHSnetwork.com. So long, folks.